Okay, so good evening, guys, everyone. Online participants, very good evening. Yeah, good evening, Bhargavi. Good evening, Sakshi. Good evening, Akshaya. Yes, Vijay. What about you? Good evening, Soumya, Alam, Anusha, Akash, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Yes. Okay. So what you done? Huh? Eating, sleeping. Hmm. Exploring. Okay. Acha, exploring Hyderabad. Okay, nice. So what you did? Closing all business calls, planning for great holiday. Okay, great. What you explored? Hmm? Ocean water park. Still? Nagol. Okay, in Nagol, relatives are there. Okay. Nagol, Uppal, Minishil Paramam. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. So what about others? Hmm? Okay, with friends. Nice. But check that out, Vijay. Next week also any immediate plans. AMB Mal. Okay, Ramya. Chalo, fine then. I hope enjoyed, I guess, finally. Mm. So, mm. So, today, let's try to go with a new topic, index. So, earlier, we utilized something called window functions. In window functions itself, we started with row number, rank, dense rank, lag, lead. Immediately after completion of window functions topic, basic level, we even explored something called advanced window functions, like first value, last value, nth value. So there we discussed about one more important clause called frame clause. By utilizing frame clause, how you can get the data, what are all the things that you can do, you can perform, all these things we utilize there itself. Chalo, fine, well and good. Now, today, let's try to go with one more important topic called index topic. So now what is index? When to use, where to use, let's try to understand these things. So first thing first, what is an index? Based upon your understanding, tell me what is an index? Yesterday's first question. What is yesterday's first question? Okay. Acha, okay, I provided you some questions, right? Hmm. So sorry guys, I'll forget. Okay, you need to update me. Okay. Okay. 4 questions or 5 questions I gave, I guess. Completed everyone? See, I asked you whether you enjoyed your weekend or not, but I was not asking whether homework completed or not. Hmm. 4 or 5 questions, 5 questions, okay. So everyone completed? Not yet. See, the first question relating to normalization. Maybe I asked you to focus on the first normalization, I guess. Basically, what exactly this normalization, first normal form itself is something talking about us. I'll explain. If you are having a table with multiple columns and multiple rows, each and every box is nothing but a cell, right? So for example, if you're having a column called age, 10 is there, it's fine. 20 is there, fine. 30 is there, it's fine. But you cannot include both 20, 30 in the same cell. Comma. Extra values, you cannot proceed having those things in your cell table. That is where you are not supposed to work with. So here what we are going to do if you are working with this particular table called Indian food, select star from Indian food. You're having all these columns. There is a column called ingredients column. You can see multiple data points are in that, which itself is something not proceeding with first normal form. Immediately what you can do, you can just remove this entire column itself. You can just delete the column itself. How you are going to delete the column? DDL. Alter table name, drop column name. With that syntax, you can start working on a deletion part as well. Yes or no? Right. Now, our main, okay, I hope it's clear. Someone asked it. What is the first question? So now let's try to proceed with the main topic for today, index topic. Now the question comes here is, what is an index? Index itself is something audio not visible, not audible. Online participants, voice is clear. Any disturbance? It's clear. It's clear. Okay. Soumya, just check that out from your end. For others, it's perfectly fine. At that point of time, we need to splitting it. We need to split it, Atul. There are some string functions also to split the data. With utilizing those things with based on delimiter, we can take an approach. Still, functions topic not completed. There we'll discuss all these things. Right. With for question one only. Okay. So index itself is nothing but whatever the index that you know for a book, quite similar. In SQL, what is the main purpose of utilizing index concept is faster retrieval of data. Whatever the data that has been available in your table data set. If you are utilizing that concept called index, faster retrieval. So for example, just a minute, guys, 1 minute. When you're talking about a concept called index, index is something that you need to work with faster retrieval. So for example, you are having a table. If you are trying to execute the table, select star from table name. It might take, say for example, 5 minutes of time. The table itself consists of, say for example, 10 lakh records or 20 lakh records. To retrieve that entire data from the table itself, it might take some time. But instead of fetching directly, if you are providing an index concept on that particular table, and now if you are executing select star from table name, retrieval speed will be minimized. Earlier, if it might take, say for example, earlier it is taking 5 minutes of time. Now the time utilized to fetch the table might decrease to 2 minutes, 1 minute. That is what index topic is. The main reason why you are utilizing these indexes to get the results in the fast-paced way, faster retrieval, faster readability. If you are having very large data sets, to fetch the data from those tables, it might take so much of time. So there this concept comes into picture index. From that, you can immediately get the data and you can start working on it. Okay. And the second thing is this index is something that you need to create on larger data sets instead of smaller data sets. Why? Exactly. If you're having a very small data set, if you're putting an index or if you're not putting an index, the retrieval speed will be almost same. Got my point? You are having a table. On the table, you are performing. The table itself is very small data. 500 rows are there. On the table, if you are putting index or without index also, retrieval speed will be same. No way, no use. But extra thing is there is a drawback here. You are going to waste some memory. End of the day, index itself is nothing but it's an object. If you're creating an object, it will take some memory in the backend. Cost to benefit ratio is very low. But if you are working with a very large data set, if you're providing an index, there also are going to waste some memory. There also you are going to waste some memory, but cost benefit ratio is high. It's a very large data set. There, whatever the insights that you want to draw, it is going to be really fast, quick. And that is the reason index is something very important. And it needs to be something applicable for larger data sets comparing with small data sets. Okay. And let me give you one simple example so that you can easily understand how index, what exactly is an index is. See, try to take consideration of simple example. You are having one textbook. I'm suggesting you to purchase a textbook called SQL textbook. You'll purchase one SQL textbook. Fine. So assume that that particular textbook itself is not having any index page. Index page in the sense usually will have that page number, right? In which page, which concept. That page is not there with you. Index. Now I'm asked, assume that that book consists of 500 pages. How many pages? 500 pages. And I'm asking you to uh, read the concept called window function topic. And assume that that window function topic itself is available in 400th page. Now you're not having an index page. What you'll do? You'll open first page, you'll read everything, and you can see that window function topic is not there. You'll go to second page. You'll search, is there any window function concept? If it is not there, you'll go to third page. Like that, you'll turn on all the pages till 400th page until unless that concept starts focusing. If you are able to search all 400 pages, how much time it is taking? It is taking so much of time to get that output. But, but you are having an index page now. What you're going to do? You'll directly go to that index page, and there itself window function topic itself is there in 400th page. Now immediately what you'll do, you'll open that page in multiple repetitions and you'll start going to that page, which in itself might take good 30 seconds or 20 seconds of time. But in the earlier case, it might take even a complete day time. Yes or no? So understand the difference. Try to apply the same logic, same concept for your table also. If your table itself is consisting lakhs of records, without index, if you are trying to read the data, it might end up taking so much of time. But once if you are creating an index on that particular table, and if you are trying to read the data, the output itself is something generated in the very faster way. And where you can access all these options, here if you can see, you are having something called duration fetch speed, right? Here itself it has been provided. Here see 0.016 milliseconds. How much time it was taking to execute that code and to see showcase that output. Here it's a very small data, it is taking milliseconds. If you are having some lags and lags of records, it might end up taking minutes of time. And you're going to wait for that much time? No. So you want to perform your analytics fast. So there, this concept comes into picture. I hope it's clear everyone why we are using index. Right. And here while we're working with index topic, we are having two different types of indexes. B-tree index, hash index. And by default, the type of index that is going to be created here is B-tree, binary tree. Let me explain you with one simple conceptual diagram so that you'll easily able to understand. You are having one column called salary column. Okay. You are having one column called salary column. Assume that all the employees' salaries are been ranging from 0 to 10,000. What is the range, guys? Starting from 0 to 10,000. Now, here the requirement itself is very simple. I just want to fetch all the employers whose salary is 9,000 rupees. Provide me the code for it. Select star from table where salary greater than, sorry, equals to, right? Equals to 9,000. And this is what we'll be writing, a query. Now, what usually happens is without an index, it will try to read that entire table and it will try to fetch that output, which in itself might take some good amount of time. But now what is going to happen? You are just going to divide the data into 50-50. First half is your 50%, the next half is your 50%. And on what basis this particular index has been created is exact middle value, exact midpoint. See, the salary itself is starting from 0 till 10,000. What is the middle value? 5,000. That means 0 to 5,000, the first category, 5,000 to 10,000, the other category. Now, what is the problem statement here? I want all the employees whose salary is 9,000. Now, is 9,000 less than 5,000? Is 9,000? There is no scope, there is no use, right? In searching of here, automatically what it will do, it will remove this first 50% only. That means half of the time itself is been reserved, right? You're not wasting that 50% of time, right? Now again, what it is going to do, remaining 50%, again, it will try to draw one midpoint value here. Now, what is the value that we can get? 7,500, between 5,000 to 10,000. That is the middle value. Now, 9,000 greater than 7,500 or equals to 7,500 less than 7,500? Greater than. Then what is the purpose? What is the scope of wasting some time here, guys? Again, there is no purpose in it. Again, it will eliminate, it will not even read a single record in that data. It is not even wasting a single minute of time to waste the data there. Automatically, you are left it with between 7,500 to 10,000. Like that, again, it will draw one midpoint value. Now, what it will do, it will draw midpoint value and it will adjust with multiple repetitions, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus repetitions. It will go to that exact data and it will try to get the data. So itself, it is filtering the data and it will fetch that exact data that what you're looking for. And that is how index concept itself is something very useful and important topic while you are going to create a table and fetching the output, where the main problem statement is to get the data fast retrieval. And there this concept comes into picture, indexing. I hope everyone you got the basic understanding, theoretical understanding how index concept works. Now let's try to jump into the practical approach. B tree hash. What is the main difference between B tree and hashes? B tree itself is something you can utilize with all the comparison operators. Greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, almost everything. But if you're working with hash index, you can have only working with equals to, not equals to. So just tell me one thing, just Google it, whether you need to create a table, whether you need to create an index before creating a table or whether you need to create an index after creating a table. You can just choose it, Google. Hmm. What happened is after. So once after creating a table, and then for any column that you need to provide this index concept. So let's try to understand the practical approach of how this concept works. See, yeah, having something called select star from my EMP. Let's go with my EMP table. First thing first, whether we utilized any syntax called show earlier, show tables, show databases. See, show itself is something utilized to show something. If you are utilizing something called show databases, you can able to see what are the list of databases available. Instead of show databases, if you are utilizing something called show tables, it will just showcase you what are all the tables available in the data space that you selected. Inside your Arcus IQ database, these are all the tables available. Show is nothing but what you want to show. In the same way, along with databases and tables, you are having a concept called show indexes. Show indexes. But index is something created on table, right? So show index on table my EMP from. Select it and execute it. See, among all the columns in the table, there is one column called salary. On this salary, a index itself has been created. And what is the type of index, guys, that we created? It's a B-tree index. By default, whatever the index that you create, the index is going to be something created as B-tree index only. And in case if you want to create any index for a column in a table, how you're going to do that? See, syntax goes like very simple. In SQL, whatever the object that you want to create, it is with the help of create only, right? Which is something coming from DDL only, right? Creating any object, create database, create table, create index, anything. Create index, index name, IDX1, index name on which table? My EMP table. And here you need to provide the column name. Why you need to provide the column name? Index is something like a constraint. It is something not going to be applicable for entire table. Index is something that you are going to provide for a column in a table. Yes or no? Automatically, if you're providing it for a column in a table, you need to mention that column name. Yes? So that is what we are doing here. Create index, index name, create database, database name, create table, table name, whatever the index name that you want to provide, you can provide. I'm providing it as IDX1. On which table? My EMP table. On which column? Provide that column name. I already created on this column, so I don't want to execute, but in your case, you can utilize this and just execute. Okay. Like this, you can start working on it, creating an index. And in the same way, if you want to drop any index, drop index, index name from table name. Clear? One important thing that you need to focus on here is, guys, everyone, in interview, you can expect some theoretical questions on index topic. What kind of questions you can expect us? When to use, where to use, what is the purpose of it? Index is something that you need to utilize for on a column where you are utilizing that column more frequently for reading purpose, filtering purpose, especially filtering purpose. What does it mean? Most frequently filtering that column, in the sense, most frequently you are going to utilize where clause on that column. Yes or no? Salary column, you are filtering. Department column, you are filtering. Job ID column, you are filtering. On any column, if you are going to utilize where clause more frequently, that means you are going to filter the data more frequently. On those columns, you need to provide a topic called index topic. I hope it's clear. That is one thing that you need to focus on. And then second thing, index is something that you need to utilize for more frequent read operations, infrequent write operations. frequent read operations, in the sense in majority of the cases you are going to utilize your select statement because you're reading the data, and you're rarely utilizing your updations like insert, update, delete. In this case, better to go with index topic. And the third point is index is something that you need to provide only for large data sets. Why? We explored just now. If you're providing it on a very large data set, when you're providing index on a very large data set, cost to benefit ratio is there. Even memory itself is something wasting, no problem. It will fetch the entire table in a very fast way. But if you're providing it in a smaller table, memory waste, nothing more than that. Putting an index without putting an index, also the same speed. So these are the considerations that you need to focus on while creating index topic. Okay. So just check this out, guys. Create one simple index on a column. The first point is frequent where clause. If you're utilizing where clause on any column more frequently, go with that part. And the second point is if you are utilizing more frequently DQL, select statement, less frequently you are working with DML, then go with index. And third point is Akshaya, if you want to go with large data set, go with index. For smaller data sets, not required. I hope it's clear, Akshaya, Alam. Okay, right, Alam. Welcome. Simple. If you want to use simply where clause only. There is no such thing like you need to use it in a different way. What are the filtering that you are doing? You just need to filter it in the same way, but speed will be increased. Retrieval speed. Increased in the sense faster retrieval. That is something we'll do. I'll provide one data set. Okay. Guys, a small question to you. Try to solve it. There is one more type of index called unique index also. Okay. There is one more type of index called unique index. Let me explain you the question first and then just try to solve it. Okay. Everyone just focus on this concept, guys. You need to create a table which consists of 3 columns. And here in first column, if you are having duplicates, no duplicates, not at all a problem. Whatever the column that you want to create for the first column, you can, it's up to you. Fine, well and good. Now, second column is something where we need to start with. In second column, if you are having duplicates, it's okay. Non-duplicates, super okay. Duplicates are there, it's okay. No problem. In second table, duplicates are not there, again super okay. But if duplicates are there, it's okay. In both the tables, sorry, in both the columns, individually, some duplicates are there, it's okay. But the combination of duplicates, if you are having, I don't want to get that data. What I mean to say is, here if you are having something called Ramesh, there is one more duplicate called Ramesh, no problem. Here, the age need to be different, 22, 23. Or say for example, here 23 itself is repeated for twice. Here, name should be different, Ramesh Suresh. But here, what I'm trying to convey is both combination should not have a duplicate like this. Again, Suresh 23. If here duplicates are there, here it needs to be different. Here if duplicates are there, here it needs to be different. But both should not have a combination duplicate. I hope the question is clear. So on that basis, first try to create a table. Before inserting some data into the table, try to create a unique index on it. Once again, I'm telling first thing first, create a table without constraints, no problem. Try to create one table. Now you'll be inserting data, right? Before inserting data only, try to create this index. And that index is something you are creating for both columns, guys. Second column and third column combinedly. Now try to insert the data. Whether it is throwing you an error or not, just update me. Is it working or not? What is the type of index you need to create? Unique index. That means instead of utilizing create index index name, create unique index name. And in brackets, instead of utilizing only one column, utilize both the columns. Okay, make it fast, quickly. It's working. Then online participants. Okay, right, Anusha. Yes, Santosh. Done. Hmm. So create table, table name, create unique index, index name on students one. Both columns you need to provide second column and third column inside the parenthesis. And then while inserting the data, if in case you are having adding duplicates combination for last two columns, it will throw you an error. And this is how the syntax works. See, Atul, right? Okay. Someone provided the code. I'm just pasting over here. You can just utilize this syntax in this way. Creating a table, then creating a unique index, and then show index. You haven't created an index, Atul. You need to create an index too, I guess, in the syntax. So create index, index name, Okay, already provided, right? Yeah, fine. Create unique index and then insert that record. Automatically it will throw you an error AA22, AA22. It's a combo duplicate, so it will throw you an error. Fine. Okay, right, Abdul. Yeah. Okay. So the remaining time, let's try to focus on for practice problem purpose. Okay. I thought of going with view topic. It might take some time. Let's go with practice problems part. Tomorrow, let's go with that view topic. Okay. So let's start with the questions. So, yeah, Soumya, where is that code? Insert into students values. We can index on. Yeah, it's fine now, Soumya. It's good. No, no, still not completed. Still the continuation is there. With a different example, I need to focus on clustered and non-clustered too. Can you show us how to practice Power BI other websites, please? So can you show us how we can practice Power BI other way? Yeah, sure, Alam. See, when basically you are covering with a topic called Power BI, there is a website called Workout Wednesday. Okay. So what you can do is simply you can just take that reference out here. Power BI challenges, Tableau challenges are going to be there. If you are going there every Wednesday, they'll provide you with one competition kind of thing. They themselves will provide you that entire data. Okay. And they'll introduce you what exactly the problem statement is and what are the requirements. They'll provide you the use cases, everything. They'll provide the data set and solution file is also something they'll provide at last. That means you can just utilize that file. You can start working on it. What are the questions that they provided? You just need to solve those things. In case if it is not working, you can just take that reference for practice problem file so that you can able to learn those things in a more effective way. So this is something more inclined towards practicing purpose for Power BI and Tableau. Workout Wednesday. So utilize this thing guys in your free time. Okay, so coming to the main part, let's come with some questions. Got one batch in hacker rank. Okay, who's that? Atul. Okay, nice Atul. Perfect. So what about others? Anyone got any batches in hacker rank? No? Yes, how many? Hmm? Three batches. Okay. Uh, how many batches, guys? Not yet started? Okay. One. Online participants? Two. Three. Good. Based on that also you can get that practice purpose. Hacker and get some badges. How many stars? Okay. Right. So let's go with some simple requirements. Okay. The question itself is very simple. Try to create one simple table. And the table is something that you need to create based on constraints topic. Okay. Based on healthcare domain, try to create one simple table. Any table you wish. Domain needs to be something based on healthcare. Try to create one table with adding 5 to 6 constraints to the columns also. And update me the syntax case in the chat window. With constraints, not without constraints. question is, based on healthcare domain, try to create one simple table with the help of constraints. Okay, right, Ramya. Right, Ajay. Right, Bignesh. Offline completed. So tomorrow's topic will be going with something called view topic, Santosh. Okay. We are going to cover something called view. And then we'll be proceeding with something called case one. Case one completed, case one not completed. Hmm? No, no, case one. No, no, not completed. I'm asking about case one. Still, it's there. Subquery is there, CT is there, stored procedures are there, triggers are there, all those things. So I was asking about case one, not completed. See, let's try to understand what does this case one topic about. Case one statement itself is something utilized to understand conditionals. What is case? When this is the case, then this is the answer. When this is the case, then this is the answer. Okay. So for example, remember one thing, case one statements is the topic you are going to utilize while creating an extra column for a table. Once again, I'm repeating, if you want to create a new column for an existing table, then you need to go with this topic called case one statements. The same thing in window functions also we utilize to create a new column. If you want to create a new column for an existing table, what you're going to do? You are going to provide those things in between select and from statement. Yes or no? Between select and from, you will be providing that column name. So here also the same thing. But what is the requirement? Simple select star from my EMP. I just want to create a simple table, and the table is something that you need to create based upon some conditions. Salary column is there, right? If the employee salary is something less than 10,000, I need to provide a category status called low. If employee salary itself is something coming between 10,000 to 20,000, it should be medium. And in case if employee salary is greater than 20,000, the salary status itself is provided as high category. So for that, as I explained you, case one statements is something that you're providing as a new column that logic itself is also again coming between select and from only, right? So the code goes like select star comma. Now you need to provide that condition, case one statement condition. Case when salary less than 10,000, then what is the condition? Low, right? Like this. Now, remember while you're working with case one topic, case itself is utilized for only one time. When then, you can utilize it for multiple times based upon your conditions requirement. I'm having three conditions, one for low, one for medium, one for high. So when and then statements I'm utilizing for three times. When salary between 10,000 and 20,000. Then what is the category, guys? Medium. When salary greater than 20,000, then high, rate. Just you need to provide something called high. And you need to end that case when statement and you need to provide an alias name. Why you need to provide an alias name? Till now you are providing only values called low, medium and high. What I explained you, we are going to create a new column, right, for an existing table. If you are going to create a new column for an existing table, you need to provide the column name also, right? So what is a column name? So for example, I'll provide something called category. From which table? My MP table. As I explained you, case one statement topic is something that we are going to utilize for creating a column. That means creating a column in the sense that column syntax itself should be something coming between select and from only, right? So semicolon, select the entire code and just run it. Automatically you're getting a new column and category column has been created. Yes or no? Based on salary, it has been provided. 24,000 greater than 20,000, high. If salary is 10,000 to 20,000, medium. If salary less than 10,000, you'll get something called low. I hope it's clear, guys. In this way, you can able to solve it. అర్థం కాలే అవి రావు దీనిలో ఓకే one simple question. In your case, try to create 5 categories. Very low, low, medium, high, very high. 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 plus. 0 to 5,000, very low. 5 to 10,000, low. 10,000 to 15,000, medium. 15 to 20,000, high. 20 plus, very high. 5 categories. Remember one thing, when statement is utilized for only one time, sorry, case statement is utilized for only one time. When then, you can utilize it based upon your conditions requirement. Then guys, completed. Online participants completed. What you are going to do, when salary less than 5,000, you'll provide something called very low. When salary between 5,000 and 10,000, then you'll provide something called medium. Instead of this, salary greater than equals to, and salary less than equals to, right? Something like that, or greater than, less than, like that. In the same way, again, when salary greater than 10,000, less than 15, greater than 15, less than 20, greater than 25, again, automatically it is high category. Okay. So clear, guys, with today's concept? Online participants clear? Okay, right, Alam. Right, Ramya. Right, Ramke. Yeah, welcome, Alam. So, okay then. So let's try to wind up the session. So let's connect again tomorrow and we'll focus on learning some new concepts. Okay. Okay then. Bye, guys, everyone. Good night. Online participants, bye. Ah, yes, Saksha.